Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 of the Farmer Cop podcast with me, Farmer Cop, and we got Thomas here with me as well.
Hey.
So we haven't released the episode 1 of the podcast yet. We're recording this the morning of the day that one's going to come out, so we don't know what your reactions are yet to that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I made some slight adjustments to our audio today, so hopefully it's a little bit better. We will make it better and better as we get a studio set up for this. And do this hopefully the long term. Unless you guys absolutely hate it, then we won't do it anymore. But I don't think that'll be the case. At least some of you guys will like it. So yeah, hopefully not. Reaction episode 1. We hate this. Please.
We can't. Please stop.
Please stop. This
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist. Getting hate mail. Anyhow, but let us know down in the comments or message me directly at farmercop901@gmail.com or Facebook. I am farmercop at Facebook. You guys can email me or message me on those sites or join my Discord, which should hopefully be linked down in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, yes, it is just a screen that says Farmer Cop Podcast, my logo, and says episode 2 on it. We will eventually have more visual things happening, but we also want to make it this so, again, it's a podcast, so the idea is you can listen to it. So if it's just a visual show the whole time, then that kind of defeats a lot of the purposes. But anyhow, we will do some more visual stuff in the future. But yeah, so let us know what you want to see or things you want us to do different, anything like that. Comments, questions, concerns, complaints. Let us know those down in the comments or message me.
All of the complaints.
All the complaints.
Invent some. We would love to hear them.
Yes, if you guys had complaints, we can make fun of your complaints in the next episode of the podcast. So that would be perfect, actually.
Give us some more material.
Give us more material. Anyhow, so platforms the podcast should be on. It'll be on Spotify, Apple, and then a bunch of other, like, I'm using a website called podserve.fm. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's the website I'm using to hopefully put this out to all the platforms possible for you guys to be able to access this. So we'll start linking those and doing some of that stuff if we can down below in the description. But for now, this is the easiest way to access it. So yeah. I'll start off. We'll talk a little bit about some stuff. So we talked about precision farming in the last episode of the podcast. Precision farming is now out, and when they released it, so they updated the game to get it to work with precision farming. But,
right, because it's kind of an overhaul.
Yeah, it's an overhaul of the game. It changes it, so they wanted to make sure it works. So they put out update 1.4, version 1.4 of the game. When they updated it, they immediately got hammered with complaints from people playing Farming Simulator because the update made it so, like, a lot of the most popular mods, like scripting mods that change different game scripts, like, broke the game.
Game scripts.
So, like, there's mods that, like, are what are called script mods that just change a little bit about the game script.
Oh, okay.
So all those mods quit working. So people like pretty much. So people started having game crashes left and right and all sorts of issues. So people couldn't play their game saves. So many complaints, so many angry comments that I've gotten about it. I'm like, it's not my fault. And then people are, like, blaming precision farming for it.
People are blaming you for this?
Oh yeah, I've had people blame me for stuff that Giants does all the time. And I had one comment that was like, I don't know. I'll be like, it's not my fault. I didn't make the game. But they still blame me for it. Like, it's not, I didn't do it. But
this is clearly your fault. Farmer Cop.
I'm not even in the same country as
maybe you're supposed to be
game.
policing Giant Games.
Yeah, Giant Software needs me to go policing. Gosh, it cracks me up. Anyhow, so they broke the game basically.
Super great.
For a lot of people. They're working on a hot fix now, but it's not going to come out until they said a small chance it comes out today. But they found the issue at least, so they're working on solving it. So it'll
great.
It'll update it. But yeah. Anyhow, it's just funny that I feel like, and I Giants does a really good job at a lot of things. They're a great game company. And I'm not trying to be negative towards them. I'm partnered with them as well, so I have to be careful what I say. I'm not trying to be negative in a lot of ways towards Giants, but it just cracks me up that they didn't, like, I would have thought they would have taken, like, the top 100 most popular mods, loaded those into a game save with the new update on their end, and then tried to play the game and see if it crashed.
No, hindsight is 20/20.
Yep, hindsight. It's like, I would have thought that would have been an obvious way to test everything. I know there's like 1,500 mods out for the game, so I know they can't test every mod to make sure everything works. I get that, but like even just 10 mods, they would have found it.
Even just 10. Are mods basically an incorporated part of this game? Like, you don't play the game if you're not playing with mods.
Some people do, and they're crazy. They're insane. They're absolute nut jobs. Should be in the loony bin.
Completely.
No, I'm just kidding.
ridiculous.
No, I know there are a lot of people that
do
don't play it with mods, but mods just make it more fun. It adds equipment and stuff and different features. So, but yeah.
Well, we forgive you, Giant.
We do forgive you. Thank you guys, or thank Giants for everything you guys do as far as all that goes. One last thing too, I will be doing some fact videos, frequently asked question videos on Farming Simulator. What I'm going to do with that, and this is just like more like a news update, nothing special, but what I'm going to do with that, hopefully starting soon, you may even, I'll probably start posting them before this even comes out. But if you guys have like, I get like a lot of like simple questions in the chat that it's hard to like justify making a video for.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I get a lot of comments for like really simple questions. So what I'm going to do is make like 1 minute videos and just post them that answer those questions. So every so often I'll post like, oh, here's a question answered. So I'm going to start doing that so that people can be like, okay, just answers their questions quickly, quick little video.
Yeah.
I thought about like coming up with like 10 and then making like 10 most frequently asked questions, but I don't want to do that because some people aren't going to care about 9 of those questions. They're going to be looking for their one.
Yeah.
And then some people aren't going to want to, and it's like, I can't put like list out all the questions in like the title or the thumbnail.
Right.
So I'm just going to put the one. It's like, you're like trying to read the thumbnails. Like there's 50,000 words in this thing.
Maybe you should. Then people could
yeah, they
screen the video before they watch.
no one would watch it. They'd just be like, no, the click-through rate, I just have loyal people watching it. The click-through rate on that would be terrible. But yeah, so I'm going to start doing that. Let me know what you guys think about those. I mean, I'm sure you guys will give me your feedback. You guys always do.
Are these personal questions?
No.
No.
Frequently, no, they shouldn't be. Like game questions.
Oh.
Frequently asked farming questions. Unless they have like questions about me. I don't know. I'd rather answer like questions about me like in a video or like on the podcast.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like if you guys have like police questions and stuff or farming questions for the T-Man over here, the anonymous T-Man. Oh no, we said your name. We have to edit it out.
So on the first episode. Let's see how long we can keep. People have to go back to that one to remember who I am. Like, why do they keep referring? I don't care if you guys know my name. I think it's just kind of funny that FC isn't saying it anymore.
Yep. T-Man.
T-Man.
It begins with T and rhymes with Ames. That's perfect. That's what I'm going to say.
I don't have anything to say to that. I was trying to come up with something that didn't match my name, but you left everything out. There's no options left.
There's no options left. Oh, gosh. One final thing. I'm going to pull up the mod hub here. So this is the mod hub. This is where all the mods are. So precision farming, there it is. First off, too, I will make this announcement. So you see how they're rated? Like 4.9 stars with 29 people having rated it.
Yeah. What are we looking at visually for the people listening?
We are looking at the star ratings on mods and how many people have rated them. Just so you know, if you guys... So as far as how mods work, which is really cool the way Giants does this. If you guys download a mod, after you play with that mod, go back into the in-game mod hub. You can do this on all platforms. Go to the mod, rate the mod 5 out of 5 stars. Unless you really didn't like it for whatever reason. But even if it's something you don't like, but someone else would like it, like it's not just the mod is broken, it's just like, oh, that's not your thing. Don't rate the mod poorly because of that. Modders work like hours and hours and hours and hours making these things from scratch. So go rate mods 5 out of 5 stars. The reason for that is if modders get a overall rating of 4 stars or above, they get paid more for their mods.
That's amazing.
So modders actually get paid per download. In case you guys don't know this, by Giant Software, they're all the mods are free for us to download as players. So they're free for everyone to download.
And Giant pays.
And Giant Software pays the modders, which is really smart on their part because it keeps modders making mods and it keeps people engaged in the game.
I've never heard of anything like this.
It's brilliant though. It's genius. They don't pay a lot. So like you won't get very much. Like 100,000 downloads to get you a few bucks or something like that.
Yeah, but still, that's cool.
But it's still cool that they do it. But if your rating drops below 4 stars, you get like I think it's like 50% less income.
Wow.
So it's a huge bump for modders to get. So make sure you guys rate them 5 out of 5 stars because it does help out the modders quite a bit. And they work. They don't get paid. So like if they put X amount of hours into a mod and even if it got a ton of downloads, they probably wouldn't make their money back as far as their hours put into it. but it's like just an incentive for them.
Yeah, a little kickback.
Yeah, a little kickback, which is super cool. I would like to see Giants pay more
That'd be
for the mods.
Great for a portfolio if modders are trying to get into dev side of this stuff, but
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Like they're actually because they're technically getting paid, so it's a professional type thing. Would that help someone get hired in?
oh yeah, you have a portfolio of all your professional achievements. This would count definitely, 100%. Giants seems like a reputable company as it
They're
is.
good, and they're self-publishing now.
No way.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
so Farming Simulator 22 is, and I'm glad that you knew what that meant because I had no idea what that meant until they were like, "Hey, we're self-publishing," and I'm like, "That's great."
That's
but
a
what
big
is
step.
that?
That's
Yeah,
a huge
so they're
step. Who were they publishing through before?
Focus Interactive,
Okay.
which is a huge company, but now they have obviously more control over it.
Yeah.
and they should make more profit off it because
That's
they're
awesome.
cutting out a minimum.
Congratulations, Giants.
There we go. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
well
you.
done. You earned the
Yeah, Giants did really
T
good.
Hamas clap of approval.
The T Hamas. I was like, who's T Hamas in my head? I was like, oh, Thomas. I mean, oh no, I said a name. No, no.
It's like Rumpelstiltskin. Now I have no bartering chips.
Oh gosh, that's too funny. But yeah. So Giants, it's actually kind of fun to talk about. A lot of you guys will probably know a lot of this stuff because you've been following the games, but you don't know any of this about the company or anything.
No, it's all new and interesting.
But so they're a really reputable company. They treat their partners very well. I'm a partner with them, which is super cool.
It is super cool.
Yeah, but it's very fun. I put in for a partnership, and you can be a partner super early on. So you can be a Giants partner up. I think you only need 1,000 subscribers
Wow.
to become a partner.
They'll take anybody then.
Yeah, they'll take anyone. I mean, you have to be. You can only. There's some other things with it. If you're an exclusive partner, which I am an exclusive partner, which you can. It's an option if you want to be that or not.
Is that like a partner tier 2?
Yes, basically.
Do you get to like become a grandmaster partner eventually?
That would be cool. I don't think that's a partner thing. There's different levels. So like, they have like I think it's like silver, gold, and like I don't know if there's any higher than that for partner levels. But then there's a regular partner and exclusive partner, and regardless of which one of those are, you can still be silver, gold. But the difference between a regular partner and exclusive partner, the exclusive partners get, I think it's 2% more as far as a commission off of every game we sell for them.
Okay.
Because we get like a commission. So every time you guys use one of my links down below in the description or buy the game through my link or using my promo code FarmerCop, I get like a small, very small percentage of that. And it's slightly more because I'm an exclusive partner. But if you're an exclusive partner, I can't play any games on my channel that compete with Farming Simulator. Which is
That
fair.
means Farmer Cop, the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so like I can, like on Gamer Cop, because I have a second channel if you guys didn't know, Gamer Cop. I haven't been posting very regularly on there, but I played Farm Manager on there. I couldn't play that on my main channel
Right.
because that's a farming game. It competes with Farming Simulator.
You only
theoretically.
play Farming Sim on your main channel anyway.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't. There's a couple reasons for that too that I don't. One, because I have people ask me to play other games, and some other Farm Sim YouTubers do play other games occasionally. But it's like, for me, it's like there's so much Farming Simulator content I want to do that I don't have like a lot of time to put a whole lot else out. And if I do, I just put it on Gamer Cop. And second is most people are subscribed to my channel for Farming Simulator content.
Yeah.
They're not there like, oh, you posted another video of a different game. Like it just kind of muddies the waters.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah. So that's why I separated out and I did Gamer Cop separately. So the few people which I think we're up over 2,000 subscribers on there now, which is great. But I haven't
200 subscribers on Farmer Cop?
on Gamer Cop, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Farmer Cop is up over 73,000 now. But
Oh, total subscribers.
yeah.
I gotcha.
But I'm curious I haven't checked Gamer Cop in such a long time. I'm gonna see how many. Okay, well, oh wow, we got 25. that's
Oh,
way more than I
wow.
thought. We have 2,500 subscribers on Gamer Cop now, which is super cool. We've been doing a Minecraft series and a Ship Graveyard Simulator series. I haven't posted in a month, but I will keep going on that at some point. But yeah. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I've just been going nonstop.
It's okay.
Okay, as long as you're good with it, I'll just keep rolling. You know.
I'm fine with that.
But yeah, so that's what I got for that. Now, one thing on the mod. So going back to mods, this is where we're starting.
Back to the
So now we explained mods. There's
talking
one
about
mod. Yeah, exactly. There's one mod that came out this week that I thought was super great, and it's from it's called the Dirtinator.
Dirtinator?
The Dirtinator. So normally you have like a power washer like this, and you use that to clean like the dirt off your vehicles in the game.
Oh, does this
This thing is the
This thing
reverse.
makes
it
things
makes them
dirty.
dirtier. Now there's some inside jokes to this, and people asked him to put it out. So the guy Yos, it's spelled Jos, but it's pronounced Yos, is my understanding. He has modded stuff for me, like to use in like game series and stuff like that. And has been like a core member of the Farmer Cop channel for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like very cool guy. I'm good friends with him as far as all that goes. So love the guy to death. Fantastic. But this thing, like he modded it like as a joke because there's another member of our community, Marty. And Marty, like it's just a joke. Marty doesn't clean anything. He wants all of his tractors like dirty and stuff like that. For whatever reason. It's just how Marty is. It's like it's a Marty quirk. So I think he made this. I could be wrong. Yos, message me if I'm wrong. But my understanding is he made this for Marty.
For Marty.
And then they're like, you should release it on the Mod Hub. And he did. And it's actually doing really well.
People are loving it.
It released today. And it's got 54 people have rated it with 4.8 stars.
That means it's got like way more downloads.
Yeah, exactly. It's got way more downloads.
That's amazing.
Which is crazy, especially on a day. This came out the same day as Precision Farming Day.
I wonder if there's an actual market out there in the real world
for that.
Something like this.
Could you imagine? What would you?
That'd be like a Mr. Beast video or something.
Yeah, that would be. That would be. We need to. Well, like
the Dirtinator.
How would you? You'd have to like buy like. You'd have to go to the store to buy dirt or something and put in it.
It's magic. I don't think this would actually work. There's no way. You imagine how much it would gum up the works. You get like one little, and then it would just clog. It's clogged. Done. Yeah.
You have to bring it in for maintenance every 30 seconds. What you need is just like a liquid manure sprayer, and then you can just get vehicles dirty that way.
Yeah, I mean,
they have that.
There's tons of that. Yeah, that's a great way to get things.
That's dirty. A great way.
Maybe
that's what maybe we have to message Yos. Maybe that's the concept behind the Dirtinator or the Dirtinator. Is it just spray slurry?
Yeah, it's true. Also, Manure is at a very significant discount compared to other fertilizers, depending on who you get it from. We actually...
I can't wait to hear about this.
On my my family farm, we were next to a cow farm. And when you think about it, with injection manure fertilization, where does all the manure come from? And how much do you need? You need a hilarious amount of cow poop in order to make it viable fertilizer for farming. And so the cow farm that was next to our farm, it was more like a slaughterhouse type thing. They just had acres of
cows or manure?
Cow manure.
Acres of cow manure?
Yep. Acres. Oh my God. A hilarious amount of manure. And I think they called up my dad one day because they had filled them up.
They're like, please take
like, hey, we'll cut you a really good deal if you want to take some of our cow poop for your fertilizer this year. And it was a good enough deal that my dad, for the first time ever, rented out. I think he rented or leased the equipment to be able to do this.
To do like a manure spreader?
To do a manure injection.
Like liquid manure.
Liquid manure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is full on liquid manure. That's how long it's sat around.
Gosh.
But the cow farm would bring probably... it's like house-sized bin of manure and just place it next to a field for the tractors to refill. And then the tractor would go along the field and it would put a bunch of tubes into the ground and just inject manure into
the field,
the dirt.
So that equipment exists in Farming Simulator.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Exactly like that.
They even have, I don't know if they have it in the new game, but in FS19 they had a field tank.
Field tank
for manure, kind of like you were talking about, like manure.
Yeah.
And you had wheels, and you like raise it up, and you're not supposed to transport it full of stuff because nothing slops around in the game. It just is static.
Oh, really?
So it's fine.
Yeah.
But so I would use it because it held a lot, so I'd use it to transport it. But regardless, you're not supposed to do that. So you're supposed to. The concept was like you're saying, you drop this bin there, then they would bring like a truck in, fill it up with liquid manure.
Yep. So then
the tractors would just keep refilling from that bin
all day long. We'd probably go through.
And we
go through thousands of gallons of cow manure.
Oh, gosh, that makes sense. So it's a high, because obviously you have to spread a lot of it, right?
Oh yeah.
So you have to always refill.
High concentration. It's not as good as normal fertilizer. You have to give a lot of manure for the amount of acres you're using.
That makes sense. A lot of people don't use like manure or liquid manure in Farming Simulator for a couple reasons. One, you have to either get it from like obviously cows. Like you have to have a place to get it. Now there are buying stations and stuff so you can buy it. But the one main thing that people like, and for me, like why I don't use it, is one, I don't care about the environment in the game. So I don't care if I use chemicals. And two, you use so much of it, so you're always refilling. It's like when you're playing a game, it's like, in real life, it's like, who cares? Especially if it's cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, yeah, oh, yeah, we'll take more time to be way cheaper. Like, it's and even with the time, I bet you it's still cheaper. Because chemicals are expensive. But, like, in the game, it's like, I don't have time to be driving back and forth to fill this thing up every 6 seconds. It's like, it just takes forever.
It was very frequent that it had to be filled up. But yeah, it was just a running gag around the farm that they had so much manure. They called us and were like, listen, we'll cut you a good deal. Just take this poo off our hands. We are overstocked.
Talk about something you don't want to have too much of. So I'm gonna say it was a cow farm, right? So they're like, where are we gonna put it? They're like, we're just gonna have to start dumping it in rivers.
Drive past their fields of manure where they put it. It was literally just like square acre fields with dikes around it. Wow. You just looked out in their fields of pools of manure and cow products.
So gross.
That nobody wanted.
Did it smell? I'm assuming it smelled.
Oh, it was awful. You had to drive past it every day to get to the farm.
Oh, gosh.
You knew as soon as you came up on the
like,
property. It's like, oh, there's the cows.
Maybe that'll be in like Farming Sim, the next version of Farm Sim. They'll have like a smell box. On your desk, and it like just creates the smells of farming. That'd be so cool.
Ew.
But it'd be so gross.
Farming smells good maybe one day out of the year. It never smells good.
I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised. They got to have a way. Well, it'd be super hard to do it. You probably have to refill it with like chemicals to manufacture the smell.
Imagine.
You're like, oh, got to refill my smell box on my desk.
Like little CO2 canisters filled with farming smells.
Like, oh, fresh grass. That's a good one. Diesel engine. Liquid manure. Maybe not. Oh gosh.
Burning wheatgrass.
Instead of like adjusting the volume percent, you can adjust the smell percent that you want to come out.
Oh, for intensity?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Feels like I'm really there.
Yeah. And maybe it would be like a stronger smell or less of a smell depending on what it was if you're in the cab of your vehicle.
That's true. There is a smell. There's a smell of dirt roads.
Yeah.
That I recognize and I'm nostalgic for.
That'd be cool. I'm going to have to email Giants, tell me to get the smell box.
There you go. Yeah, maybe we'll take you to the farm at one point, and you can smell what I smelled.
That'd be great. We can go out there and we could do a remote podcast episode. We could record it out.
Driving down the roads, we can record while we're driving.
Oh gosh!
It's like here comes the manure. Oh no!
And make sure you guys purchase a smell box for when you guys listen to the podcast, so you guys can experience it as well.
I'm sure some of you probably know the smell exactly.
I'm sure there are probably people out there
very familiar with cow farm smell.
I remember my grandparents had a horse ranch where they had like 50 head of horses, which is a lot. That's a lot of horses. And
that just means 50 horses, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Head is one head of horses equals 1.4 horses. It's a very complicated math.
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't either. Like that's just how units are.
That makes sense.
Yes, of course. So 50 head of horses. That's 72.3 horses. That's the 0.3 is a colt, little baby horse. Anyhow, but they had horses, so like they had 150 acres in Montana, so decent size.
Yeah,
but like not huge.
That's great for 50 head of horse.
Yeah, for 50 head of horse for the 72 horses.
That's one of the things where we keep saying and it stops meaning anything.
Yep, exactly.
50 head of horse.
50 head of horse. 50 head of horse.
Okay, so they had 50 horses.
But like I was just going off of what I was trying to get to is like the smell. Like it didn't smell bad. It just didn't. It just didn't smell bad. And we would clean out the barns, like the stalls, if there was someone like a horse in the stall. But we didn't have to clean up, like most of the time we didn't have to clean up the rest of the farm. Like because they'd have like a huge open pasture.
They had a huge field.
So they'd poop everywhere, and it just would be spread out. It would never build up. It would just get worked down into the soil.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But occasionally around the barn, we'd have to clean up because like they hung out around the barn a lot, especially like in wintertime and stuff. Mm-hmm. They would just hang out around the barn where the water was because you had to put like.
So that was kind of like free range
Yeah,
horses
kind
had.
of.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. The cow farm had probably 50 cows per like 100 square feet.
Jeez Louise.
That's inhumane amount. I'm probably wrong on that, but it was
just a very
there's
compact.
so many cows.
Was it a dairy? Or
like
a beef?
I think it was a beef farm.
Wow.
It was a slaughterhouse.
So they were just fattening them
Yeah.
up to get them to.
Oh yeah. And let me tell you, there was not a single second that there wasn't a cow pooping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like there's a crash every 15 seconds. There's poop every 0 seconds.
Every 0 seconds. There's just they just have a billboard up. It's like time since the last cow.
It's just constantly counting up.
Yeah. You just can't get.
But that's fun. Did you ever ride the horses?
Yeah. I actually missed riding horses.
Hmm.
I missed riding horses. It was fun, but I enjoyed it. One day we went up in the mountains riding horses, just for fun. And I had this horse that was just a little jerk. The horse, just a jerk.
Just a jerk.
And it's like, I'm scared of heights, so we'd be on like this like narrow trail that's like a foot wide, right? Like one of those mountain trails where it's like mountain down on the left and mountain up on the right.
Those
you're
are
on this trail,
so scary.
and you're like, oh gosh,
You're on a jerk horse?
Yeah, and then my horse is a jerk. My grandpa at the time, it's like you guys, a lot of you guys know my grandpa that passed away because I posted some videos on it. This is that ranch that I'm talking about, and I've done videos on the channel, kind of touring it, and he has a lot of junk old cars as well, hundreds.
Oh yeah, I believe those are called resource piles.
Ah, yes.
Yes. You're not allowed to call them garbage piles.
They were very valuable to him. It was to the point that it was comical. But no, it was so my grandpa's like, "Oh, this is a great horse. You'll enjoy this one." I'm like, "Sure, Grandpa, whatever." You know, I was a kid at the time. I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
So I'm on this horse and I'm like trying to like it's like getting like really like leaning over the edge. Like a little like I'm like, "Oh, I don't like this." So I try to guide it back. It would go back in, rub me up against the mountain,
Scrape your leg.
just scrape my leg against the mountain, and then come back over further, leaning over the edge because it knew that wasn't what I wanted.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, I was terrified.
Did your grandpa tell it to do that?
Probably,
Is
probably
Listen, Theo.
devious man. He's like, mess with my grandson. Look, yeah. Johnny Horse.
Johnny Horse.
I don't know what the horse
Johnny.
was, but
oh Johnny.
oh gosh, but they don't have any horses now because my grandpa. I mean, before my grandpa passed away, even they were getting older, so they retired and shut it down. They still rent out like corrals to people though.
That's fun.
For people, yeah. So it's all good, but no, I don't know why that made me think of that. Oh, we were talking about smells. That's how we got there.
Yeah,
this is how it goes.
Smells of horses
and it
is
just
pleasant.
goes up. It wasn't. I think for me it was more nostalgic.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Because it's like going. It's like it wasn't a good smell. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, let me get deodorant de horse.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want that. But like I wouldn't be like, oh, this is first date stuff right here. Put this on.
Old Spice.
Old Spice de horse.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I needed to shower after being out there. That's for sure. But like, no, it was nostalgic because I used to go there as a kid, and I would smell. You'd smell the horse. And it wasn't like overwhelmingly bad or anything like that. Like it wasn't bad, but it was pretty funny. Like so, it was yeah, like you were saying about like the dirt roads. It was more nostalgic.
yeah, it's nostalgic.
It's a nostalgic smell.
It's like, I don't know, coffee. Even when it's bitter, even when it's bad coffee, you're still like,
The smell
that's good.
or the taste.
The taste.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm an addict, so if someone says the word coffee or
Is
I
that just
smell
what
coffee,
nostalgia is? We're addicted to things.
Dude, I don't think it is. For me, coffee I think goes beyond nostalgia. For me, coffee goes to extreme addiction, crippling addiction even.
Yeah,
If if someone says the word coffee, I'm like, okay, I need to get that. I need it.
like
I need to go.
salivating a little bit.
Yeah, like I'm like I need it. Like I can taste it in my mouth. Like I need it. And like when I get up in the morning, like the first thing, like I got to get a cup of coffee going. And I'm someone that like I'm hard to talk to before I get that first cup of coffee.
Oh, okay.
So I'm one of those type. But after I get the first cup, like even though I need a pot to get through the day, at least
one pot.
one pot. I'm a
That's
one
better
pot
than
guy.
what it used to be for you, FC.
Yeah, I used to be way worse. When I was
Have you told the audience about
I mean,
your,
I don't think
your
I have.
horrible coffee drinking habits as what? A teenager?
Yes. I was in.
How old were you? Like 16?
16. So I discovered coffee when I was 15.
Oh no!
That was when I discovered it.
That sounds so bad.
So I discovered it. I remember this so vividly. My first coffee taste ever. A friend gave me. She's like, you need to try this. I was like, what is it? It was like a caramel mocha frappuccino from Starbucks.
Ugh.
Like just It's, I mean, like a milkshake.
So
with
people
coffee
call the
flavor.
gateway coffee.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Even
a
though
gateway
it's
coffee.
still disgusting.
Well, yeah. So like I tried it and I was like, and I never tasted the coffee flavor. Always love the smell of coffee.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that hate coffee but love the smell.
It's because coffee is objectively just the best.
Right. It's just, I think maybe it's just a denial thing for those people.
Probably.
They're just in denial. They're like, no, I don't like coffee.
Yeah.
They're like, I just like the smell of it.
Yeah, you just haven't actually like succumbed.
Yeah,
to your
exactly.
primal instinct.
I mean, what other thing could you be like? You're like, oh no, I don't like the taste of it, but I just like the smell of it. Like what? Like, I mean, there's nothing else that people are like that about. Oh, I just like the smell of broccoli. I don't like the taste of it.
Day horse.
Well, of course, they don't want to taste that.
Is there coffee deodorant out there yet?
Oh gosh,
There's gotta be.
Someone's got to make it, but I just like I don't know if I'd want to
find
smell.
that attractive or not. I'd be like,
I think that coffee.
why do you smell like coffee all the time?
Well, like coffee breath is bad though.
it is bad.
Like people
There's
don't
something
like that.
about the organic, living
Yeah, I think
source of the smell that's like,
you're like coffee breath. I think I go around in a constant state of coffee breath because it's like it doesn't matter. It's like I brush my teeth and I'm clean for like half an hour, and then I'm like, I gotta get a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
And then even if I brush my teeth at night, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get a cup of coffee before bed. I gotta get
A nice snooze coffee.
Yeah, snooze coffee. I mean, I used to be the type of person. I've cut way back. So anyhow, going back to that, yes. So I had a Starbucks Frappuccino. Tried it, it's like, that's good. That flavor of coffee in there. So it was a gateway coffee. And then I would occasionally get a Starbucks Frappuccino. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then and then your body's like, ooh, caffeine's good. That's fun. And I mean, I drank soda and stuff before, so it's excuse me, not like I never had caffeine before. But then I was like, all right, and then it started at church. Church was the next place. When I go to church, they had a coffee out.
Oh, the free coffee.
The free coffee. That was what got me. Yep. The first time is always free is what they say.
Our church does not charge you for the second cup of coffee.
That's true.
Just want to
Just put that out there.
We've got coffee gatekeepers. You only get one free blessing today.
They're just, where's your coffee card? Show me your coffee card. Gotta scan it. Oh, you had a cup of coffee. Oh, it's our worship team. I had to get here early. No, you get one cup of coffee. But anyhow, no, so like I had the church I went to in high school. It's not the same one I go to now, obviously, because But anyhow, so I just get coffee and I put like cream and sugar in it.
Yeah.
And I just do that. I was like, oh, it's good.
Reasonable addition.
And then I don't know what prompted me to do it, but something about I was like, I don't know what it was. I think it was like a man thing. Like I was like, I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who was the influence of my life. Oh, I bet you I know who it was. I bet you because my favorite TV show was NCIS. And Gibbs was like one of my, like when I was like, oh, Gibbs is awesome.
Yeah.
I think because he always drank his coffee black, I was like, I got to get there.
He's a man.
Because he's a man. And I was like, I want to be a man. So I slowly weaned myself off of cream and sugar until I drank it black. And then I didn't like it at first.
Yeah.
And then after I drank it long enough, now I like love it black. Like I love the flavor of black coffee.
You just can't beat it.
Yeah. Like I'll even drink decaf occasionally. I don't try to drink decaf because it's not the best. But occasionally if I'm like, I just want the flavor. And I only will drink decaf if I'm trying to cut back on my caffeine consumption, which I have tried to do so I don't die in 12 years. So
being a cop will help you a lot.
Yeah. I figure between being a police officer, eating the way I do,
copious
and the coffee consumption, I will be dead in 12 years. So enjoy your farm sim while it's happening, everyone.
I know. Didn't know you had such a limited resource.
That'll teach you next time you think about leaving a dislike. I'm just kidding.
Passive aggressive farmer. This is a weird relationship.
But yeah, then I just started, after I found out that I liked black coffee, I just started increasing the volume. And then I got to the height of the volume in high school at about age 17, where I was drinking 3 pots of coffee a day. I would drink 1 pot before I went to school. I would drink a pot at school because, yes, I kept a pot at school and I would brew coffee.
Yeah, you had
school.
a little space for it somewhere.
Yeah, I did. I kept it in the band area.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I kept it in, I think my band director had a big office. I think he let me keep it in there.
Gosh.
And so then I would drink a pot like during lunchtime and stuff, and then have like a go cup to take to class. And then after I got done with class, I worked at a tire shop. So every day I would go to like work at the tire shop for 4 or 5 hours, and they had free coffee there. So I just kept drinking it, and before I knew it, I had 12 cups of coffee before I would leave the shift there.
Yep.
And then then I go home, and then I would sometimes have coffee at home, but usually not.
Yeah. Well, you have to wash down the rest of the day with another cup of coffee.
Right, you have to I had to wash down the rest of that coffee with some more coffee.
Exactly.
But no, man. So yeah, that was my height of my 3 pots of coffee is about what it was.
So were you just a coffee kid?
Yeah.
In band, or you were in band, so you were probably accepted.
Yeah.
For
some people
horrible habits.
Yes. In some schools, people were like, oh, band kids got made fun of. In my high school, band kids were like the cool kids.
Oh yeah.
Like we were above athletes. It was
really
weird. It was strange.
That is interesting.
Like people thought the band kids were cooler than like the football players. It was weird. Like I never would have thought that. And no one messed with the band kids.
Oh really?
No one
got scary.
I don't think we were scary. We were just a mob.
That's true.
1/8 of our school was in band. We had a huge school.
1/8?
An eighth of it was in band.
Wow.
And band kids, so like any class you went to, there was at least, an eighth of them at least were going to be band. So like you just didn't mess with band kids because there were so many of them.
Tight knit in.
Yeah. There was no other niche, like no other group of people that was that big. So I think that's why we were left alone.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was sweet. I loved being in band.
I was a choir kid, so.
Nice.
Yeah. The band kids called it the dark side in my
We did that too.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
What we called
is that a common thing?
Apparently it is. That's kind of funny.
There is such a rivalry between choir kids and band kids.
100%. 100%. I never got to meet very many of the choir kids because there's so many band kids, but yeah, my high school band had 150 people in it or so. 150 to 200.
Wow.
Yeah, it was huge.
That's fun, man.
Huge. But yeah.
I miss it a little bit.
I do miss my band days, but yeah.
Was everybody supportive of your coffee drinking?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All for it.
Oh yeah. All for it. Encouraged. Yeah, just an encouraging group. Yeah, drink more coffee.
Yeah, come on. Let's make it 4 pots today. You can do it, FC.
Oh man. It's craziness.
All right.
But yeah, that's farm sim stuff and then coffee. We have a crime of the week.
We do.
Let's talk about the crime of the week. So
what's the crime of the week, Farmer Cop?
The crime of the week is RCW 991025, unlawful transit conduct. And this is, as we go through this, remember we talked about gross misdemeanors last week. This is a gross misdemeanor. So at the very bottom, a person who violates this section is guilty of a gross misdemeanor. There's a lot in here that you can't do on a transit. So here we go. So a person is guilty of unlawful transit conduct if, while on or in a transit vehicle, or in or at a transit station. A transit station.
Anything involving transit.
Anything involving transit. And that includes airports, train stations, bus stops, buses, trains, airports.
Bus stops? Really?
Yeah,
okay.
That's a transit station.
Wow.
And he or she knowingly, so if you do it unknowingly.
If you somehow do this without your knowledge.
So, that's really fun. It cracks me up. Well, and we can talk about that another day, but there's 4 mental states in Washington. So there's negligent, which is the bottom. Then there's recklessness. Then there's intent. And then there's knowingly. If you can prove knowingly, then you have the other 3.
Okay.
So if the crime like reckless driving, like if you're trying to prove reckless driving, which the mental state is reckless, if you have knowingly, then you can prove reckless. But if you have negligence, you can't prove reckless. So if you get
so it's like
it goes
a tier.
up. Yeah, it's like a tier.
Of...
If you have the intent, you can prove reckless and negligence. Knowingly, you can prove everything else.
How
reckless,
is intent different than knowing?
I don't know. They define it. It's a little weird.
Okay.
It's like assault is like you don't knowingly assault someone. You have the intent to assault them.
Yeah, that would be like
insult,
if I put my hand on your shoulder, it's like, hey, Farmer Cop.
Yep, exactly.
Isn't that a technical? You could technically call that an assault.
Yeah, an assault is any unwanted touching.
Any unwanted touching. No touchy.
No touchy.
No touchy.
So knowingly, as we're going through this, think about these things and see if you can do these on accident, like unknowingly. Like a police officer sees you do this, and they're like, "Oh, did you?"
How would I unknowingly be able to carry out any of these crimes?
So the first one I love: smokes. So you don't know you're smoking. Carries a lighted or smoldering pipe, cigar, or cigarette, unless he or she is in a smoking area designated by the transit authority. So you're allowed to smoke at a transit station in a designated area.
Smokes or carries a lighter.
No, it carries a lighted
or smoldering pipe,
cigar, or cigarette.
Pipe, cigar, or cigarette, unless he or she is smoking in an area designated and authorized by a transit authority. All right, so I think you could be unknowingly doing such a thing.
I can't
Because
wait to hear how.
What if somebody just planted it on you? A lit cigarette.
These aren't
Like a little prank, little
Okay, that's
fun
fair.
practical joke that some teenager did. It's like, let's put this on here.
Let's put this lighted cigarette.
Put this lighted cigarette
He starts on fire
in his pocket.
So then we got to find that teenager and arrest him for attempted arson.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. So
an
there we go.
unreasonable law.
Yeah. I just love that all these things that aren't normally crimes are now crimes because of where you're at. It just cracks me up. And some of these are ridiculous. Here's another one. We talked about littering last week. So this one is discards litter other than in a designated receptacle.
Easy.
So
Something
any amount of
falls out
litter.
your pocket. Receipts fall out of my car all the time.
What if you try to throw a wrapper in as you're trying to get on the bus and
it bounces off?
Yeah.
You get a rim shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just boop.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're knowledgeable about that.
Cop's just going to come out of the bus tackle you.
Wouldn't that still be littering charge though?
You could still, you could get a ticket for it.
You just wouldn't be charged for being in a transit area.
That's the thing. So then there's a kind of a fifth one with those mental states that is called strict liability. That's a fancy way of saying it doesn't matter what your mental state was. If you did it, and you're in the wrong.
If the trash left your hands.
Right. So that's why it's like if I pull someone over for speeding, it's not like I have to prove they knew they were speeding. Because if they're like, oh, I didn't know, I was just like, darn it, can't get them for speed. Like, oh, darn it. It's like that doesn't how it works.
I was just occupying the seat in my car. The car was abducting me against my will.
So
can you imagine that with Teslas coming out?
Oh gosh. Yeah. So yeah, obviously for that, it makes sense for that. And there's some crimes that are like that, like some order violations, like if you violate a court order. Sometimes it's like just if you're in violation of it.
Yeah.
Just that's it.
It's like you missed the day.
You're done. So for that, if they did it on accident, you could still write them a ticket because they did litter. It was just an accident. You could write them the ticket, but you couldn't arrest them.
Interesting.
Because you don't have the mental state.
You don't have the mental state to arrest somebody.
Right. Now,
not until you've had 3 pots of coffee.
Right, of course. Here's the next one, which I don't know why this is different, maybe? Because I feel like it says dumps or discards or both any materials on or out of transit facility, including but not limited to hazardous substances and automotive fluids.
So...
And here's my favorite part about this. Laws don't just get to be made laws for fun. Someone did all of these things, and they thought, that needs to be a misdemeanor. That was the legislative thought. They're like, these things are happening.
Somebody just brought their oil canister and started dumping it out.
Yeah, they're just like, oil at a transit station. Just I don't feel like I can't dump this out in a random spot.
We gotta go to the transit station.
I'm gonna do this at the airport because that's what a reasonable person would do.
So would that have happened because a police officer arrested them or charged them with something? It's like there's not a formal law for that.
Probably.
It's like,
or they're like,
you couldn't have brought them anything else.
Well,
they had to do it for a transit station. Isn't that just generally a bad idea?
Well, yeah, you could still get them for littering, but you can't.
But you just have to have extra charges to make them extra.
Exactly. Basically, this law is saying that these things are bad, but they're really bad if you do it here at a transit station. Matter of fact, it's a gross misdemeanor.
Gross misdemeanor.
It's a gross misdemeanor.
Absolutely.
Now, this one, though, I could see how you could do it on accident.
Right.
What if you're driving your vehicle through a transit station? Well, that's a little bit complicated. You're driving through the parking lot of a transit station, and you're leaking gas, and you don't know.
I could see that, but then you wouldn't knowingly.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't have
knowingly qualifying. Yeah, it's still here. Knowingly.
Yep, knowingly, period.
So they can't get you on a leaky car.
Yep.
Farmer cop.
Perfect. Here's look at this next one. Place any radio, recorder, or other sound producing equipment except that nothing herein prohibits the use of the equipment when connected to earphones or an ear receiver. So it's saying you can't play anything out loud.
You can't play anything publicly.
Is fine. Yeah.
Headphone, it's what it's saying.
Yeah. The use of public address systems or music systems. What is an address system?
The use of public address systems? Is that like a navigation thing?
Oh, maybe that might like a GPS.
If your grandma's trying to figure out where her stop is and she's listening to directions on Google
out loud
on the transit,
misdemeanor,
gross misdemeanor. Can't believe that.
Call grandma to jail.
How dare your grandma?
How dare your grandma? I guess it'd be the bus drivers probably. Maybe that came because the bus driver's like, I'm tired of hearing people in the back with recalculating going on their GPS.
Oh man,
maybe that was.
I can understand that. Imagine how many letters bus drivers sent to police stations like, please make this stop.
Oh, but these are allowed. It's saying that public addresses or music systems that are authorized by a transit agency are permitted.
The use of communications devices by transit employees and designated contractors or public safety officers in the line of duty is permitted.
Now, you know why that's there? If I'm at a transit station on duty and I have my police radio and I'm not wearing an earpiece, it'd be a misdemeanor. But now it's okay.
Charged for it.
Yeah, but now it's okay.
That's why this thing.
That's why that. So sometimes like you put stuff in there, I'm like, that's silly. But I'm like, oh, okay, that actually. Well, I mean, it's silly that this is a law.
Oh, just get out the Uno reverse card on that cop. It's like, oh, you're using it.
Gotcha.
Well, what's that on your chest, sir? Appears to be a radio device of some kind.
You are under arrest. I'm going to citizen's arrest you. There's no citizen's arrest in Washington, by the way. But just throw that out there.
Yeah.
As these are private communications, communicate other individuals, pagers, and cellular phones.
Great.
Okay, perfect. Good. Next, spits, expectorates.
Expectorate, like the magical spell from Harry Potter?
Yeah, expecto patronum.
Expecto Patronum.
You can't cast Patronus charms at a transit station.
If the Dementors are coming for you, you just have to take it.
Yeah, you have to leave the transit station first. Then you can cast the spell. They do not want Patronus spells out of the transit
station. Get that out of here.
But what does that actually mean?
Expectorates. Spits, expectorates, urinates, or defecates.
Except in appropriate plumbing fixtures. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, haha, you're in these in the bathroom?
Just
you're under arrest.
The door down in the facilities.
It's just a trap. What are you doing?
To defecating. You're under arrest.
Oh, gosh.
It's a gross misdemeanor right there.
Gross misdemeanor.
That's an actual gross misdemeanor.
Yep.
Expectorates.
We gotta look this up. What does this word mean?
Feel uncomfortable looking it up.
Well, I'll say it. If it's bad, then
if
we
it means
won't
what
say
I think
anything.
it is, then we're just gonna move on.
Cough or spit out of the throat or lungs.
Cough?
Cough?
You're not allowed to cough?
Oh, cough or spit out phlegm.
Oh.
So you can't cough up phlegm. So if you have a bad cough, get away from the transit station.
Get out of there, man.
I have to cough now. I'm scared to get arrested. Oh, God.
Can you imagine taking in somebody's phlegm as evidence of their arrest? They clearly expectorated.
Cops walking around with a bag.
Yeah.
Cough here.
Cough here.
What? Oh, it's a trap. You're under arrest. It's like making a drug bust, but with phlegm.
Coffee. This is an illegal substance in the train station.
What is this one? Carries any flammable liquid.
Any flammable.
Explosive. That makes sense. You know explosives.
Yep.
Acid or other article or material likely to cause harm to others. So, except that nothing herein prevents a person from carrying a cigarette, cigar, or pipe lighter, or carrying a firearm or ammunition. I was about to ask about that. I was like, so I can't carry a firearm at a transit station?
Phew.
But these,
in a way
you're allowed to carry these.
But you're not allowed to have them on fire.
But they can't be. But you're allowed to have a cigarette, cigar, or pipe lighter, but you can't have them smoldering or lighted.
Yeah, there must be no emission of heat from them.
Oh, God.
Great.
Next is consumes an alcoholic beverage or is in possession of an open alcoholic beverage container, unless authorized by the transit authority.
How could you be authorized?
And required permits have been obtained. Can I get a permit for my alcohol?
A public drinking permit?
Apparently.
What?
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, apparently just for a transit station. I wonder if that's like a permit for like a, if they have like a, maybe there's like, well, here's an example. You're on an airplane and they serve alcohol.
Yeah.
They have to have a permit to serve alcohol.
Oh,
maybe that's what it's talking about.
Okay. That makes sense.
So maybe that's more directed at the people. Or like you're on a train car, there's a dining car and they serve alcohol.
Yeah.
Maybe you're at a transit station. Oh, here's another one. Technically a transit station is an airport. How many places in airports serve alcohol?
Oh, yeah.
Tons.
Oh, yeah.
But they all have to have permits. So maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
But you can't take your alcoholic beverage anywhere else or you're under arrest.
Yep.
Yep. Now, that's another thing, too. In Washington, it is not illegal to have an open container of alcohol outside of a vehicle. In a public place, you're allowed to have an open container of alcohol. But most counties and cities have a city ordinance against it.
Against
having an open container of alcohol in public.
Open container alcohol.
Including the city I work in. But yeah. So, and you live in.
Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah. So
I don't typically frequent an open alcohol container.
That's what I figured wasn't an issue for you.
But no, I definitely won't.
Right. Now you know for sure. It's actually yeah. But anyhow. obstructs or impedes the flow of transit vehicles or passenger traffic. That makes sense.
Yeah, get in the way of stuff.
Yeah, you can't get in the way of stuff. Or hinders or prevents access to transit vehicle station. That makes sense.
Yeah, just don't be that guy.
Then the next one, unreasonably disturbs others by engaging in loud, raucous, unruly, harmful, or harassing behavior. Okay, fair enough. I like that one. Next one is destroys, defaces, or otherwise damages property. Yeah, that seems fair. That's also a different crime, so they didn't really need that specified here.
Yeah.
Throws an object in a transit vehicle, at a transit facility, or at any... So you cannot play catch at a transit station. Do not throw anything.
No, with intent to do harm.
Oh, with intent to do harm. I had to finish it. Darn it. Woo! Woo!
Nope.
Woo! So you're allowed to play catch.
Yeah, you can play catch.
All right, you guys can continue to play catch at your train station, your local train station in Washington.
Good. Because I like playing a little bit of frisbee. I actually did play frisbee in an airport once. It was really fun. Just like one of those long open hallways with the
oh wow,
like the treadmill on it.
Oh yeah, with the treadmill, the little the moving walkways.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are awesome. I like those things. And then we have possesses an unissued transfer or fare media, or tenders an unissued transfer fare media as proof of fare payment. That makes sense. It's like having a false ticket, like a fake ticket.
I gotcha.
Sorry, I'm cruising through them. There's so many of these. Falsely claims to be a transit operator or transit play through words or actions or use of clothes. But I mean, that makes sense.
Clothes?
Like you have a transit outfit.
Oh, so you have...
And then here we go. Engages in gambling or any game of chance for the winning of money or anything of value. So if you're playing a gambling game on your phone where you actually could win money, you can't do that. That's a crime, apparently.
In a transit station.
Isn't
that generally a crime?
I don't know the gambling laws in Washington, because it's not always a crime, because like there are casinos, and not even talking about on Native American tribes. There's casinos off of tribes. They just aren't full casinos. Yeah. You still gamble. I just don't know what the gambling laws are.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a gambling commission. Gambling commission? Yeah, there's a gambling commission, which is its own law enforcement agency in Washington that focuses on gambling. You can be a gambling commission officer. Yep. And legal gambling. They do like stings and stuff to see if places are doing illegal gambling.
That sounds like a job.
Yeah. Mostly a desk job. Very easy one.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. But they are full-blown police officers. And then here's one. Skates on roller skates or inline skates or rides in or upon or by any means a coaster.
A coaster?
Like a drink coaster, probably. No, I'm just kidding.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Skateboard, toy vehicle, or any similar device. However, a person may walk while wearing skates or carry a skateboard while on or in a transit vehicle or in a transit station. Okay.
While wearing skates, okay. Conduct is not otherwise prohibited by law. So, healing. Remember Heelys?
Oh, those Heelys. Oh my, I never had any. I was so mad.
That's so sad, because an airport's perfect for that.
I know.
Can you imagine just Heelying through an airport?
But is a Heely a skate?
Maybe that's why I never see anybody with Heelys, because everybody's aware of this law. So
that's definitely not true. No one knows about that. I guarantee if you went out and polled 100 people in Washington,
they would not know about
0.2% would know this law.
And they'd probably be
police officers, or they'll probably be transit cops. Like only the transit cops. Or people that have been arrested for this. They're like, oh, I know that law.
Oh, what are you in here for?
I spit at a transit station.
Heeling around an airport.
Oh, sorry. Hit your foot there. I heeling around an airport.
Oh, it's a gross misdemeanor.
By the way, a gross misdemeanor, you can get up to 1 year in jail.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they would probably never do that for this. I've never seen a first offense for anything go for the max penalty. But it's still like funny. It's like, gosh, could you imagine I heeling through an airport, got a year in jail.
Oh man.
Oh gosh. And then we have
I wonder, gosh, would you ever charge anybody the full amount for a gross misdemeanor?
I can't choose to do that. The court does that.
Oh, the court does it?
Yeah, so when I arrest someone, they don't get anything. And if they're a Washington resident, if I book them into our jail, they don't have to post bail. They only have to post bail if they're an out-of-state resident.
Oh, okay.
If they can't post bail, they have to go to the county jail. So we move them from our city jail to the county jail. And the county jail, they sit there until they see a judge.
Interesting.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
The court has to charge them with the full offense.
Yep, they have to decide what they're going to do. And they won't charge you a fine unless you're found guilty of it. It's like just getting arrested for it, you're not going to get a fine.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it is interesting.
I don't know how the justice system works that well.
That's okay. Most
I'm here
people
to
don't.
learn. We'll figure it out. I'll learn as we're on this podcast. This is very
Perfect.
informative.
That's perfect. And
So-
people will probably learn a lot too as they hear stuff.
Yeah, warning
well.
to you guys if you're ever in Washington State, in our Seattle airport, the SeaTac.
Yep.
Remember, don't wear your Heelys.
Yeah, do not wear your Heelys. If you have Heelys, please comment down below. I am curious how many of you have Heelys.
I loved Heelys. I want Heelys again.
Adult
I miss
Heelys? They don't make them for adults, do they?
I think they do.
Do they?
You can get them in adult sizes. I remember my brother.
I feel like I
got
would
some
hurt
when he was-
myself if I got them now.
Yeah.
But
Would it help in your pursuits?
I'm just healing after a bad guy. He's like, oh my god, this cop's fast. He's too fast. He's too fast. No, but I did think that I would want if I could turn it on or off. Like, you know those light ups?
Those
I want
light
the
up-
police lights in my boots. That'd be so
Light
fun.
up boot?
Like, light up boots. Now, like, if I start running, they
So
start
it
lighting
flashes
up.
red and
They
blue,
start
isn't
flashing
it?
red and light. That'd be so cool. That'd be so legit. One of my coworkers has a shoulder-mounted light bar.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
And
just a
do they
waste of
use
money.
it?
No, just a
Oh.
waste of money. He bought it because he thought it was cool.
that's so
Never
funny.
seen him use it, but it's hilarious.
Would he be allowed to use it?
Oh yeah, I mean it's not
Oh.
illegal for him to use it or like against the department policy, but it'd just be hilarious. I mean he would get made fun of for sure, but just hilarious.
I would love to see what other weird like police work extras there are out there.
It's so-
There's probably some light up boots out there.
There probably is.
Like
Gosh, I should look into it.
work grade.
Oh
official-
gosh,
You probably get a little like alarm on your shoulder too.
little siren.
Yeah.
A shoulder-mounted siren. You're just deaf in that ear.
Oh man.
Oh gosh, that'd be
That'd
awful. I can't hear anything, but they can hear me.
I've seen you in your alarm. You don't have much room for anything else on there.
Oh my gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much room. I have a lot of stuff on my. I wear an external vest, thank goodness.
Yeah.
I haven't always been that way. We recently switched to them. I guess I've been wearing it for 6 months now. I've had no back pain since
I got rid of the back pain.
Got rid of the back pain since I switched to an external. Because I used to have all of that weight used to be on my belt.
Yuck.
Yeah, it was terrible.
No thanks.
But yeah. What else can I say?
You got really silent.
I know. I was
You
trying
alright?
to think. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
dying.
okay.
I'm dying. No, I'm just kidding. I
I
was just trying to
mentioned
think.
work and you're just.
Work is so depressing. I
Alright.
worked 2 days of my weekend this week.
You work 2 days on your weekend?
Yep, 2 half days because I need coverage. So 2 days I have to go in from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. just to help them cover shifts. Yeah, I'm not excited.
Oof.
But at least it's overtime, I guess. So yeah, what it is, what it is. But what was I gonna say? There's something I was gonna say. I forgot to. What was I gonna say?
What were we gonna talk? We were talking about light up boots.
Light up boots. Oh,
Healing.
speaking of cool stuff that they have, pun intended, and you'll get it in a second. They have for cops. They have this thing called the Cool Cop, and it hooks up to your car AC, and it sticks under your vest and your shirt, and it blows AC down your vest to help keep you cool.
Are you kidding me?
Super cool.
So when you're in the car,
You hook it up to your car vent.
You just
and
have
it's
a vent
that goes
running
into,
down
it goes
your
into
shirt?
Yes, it's called the Cool Cop.
can I just have that
Yeah, you can buy
in
it.
general?
I'm sure you can buy one.
I need this. I run so hot. It is ridiculous. If I could just vent all of the AC
If you wore a vest, you'd be even worse.
directly,
Those things are just ovens. Like
I
the
believe
Kevlar just insulates you. Like I'll be out like on like a collision in the middle of the winter time, and everything will be cold except my core is like, yeah, we're hot.
yeah, you're
We're
good.
running hot. We're good here.
Right.
We're good here. My body's like, I don't know if I have hypothermia or hyperthermia. It's like we don't know if we have hypo or hyper. We don't know which one. I don't know which one of those is which, but I know that we have both.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Well,
don't know. But yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's
Do
fine.
you wear the cop shorts during the summer?
no, I don't. No, I
Cop
don't.
biker shorts?
I don't. I do like to ride a bike in the summer, but I still wear pants on
Oh,
a
really?
patrol bike. Yeah, because we have these nice e-bikes that are sweet to ride,
Dude,
but they're fun.
that sounds fun.
And it's like some people are like make fun of me, like, "Oh, you're a bike cop, haha." I'm like, jokes on you. I'm getting paid very well to ride a
To ride
bicycle
my
at work,
bicycle.
and if I'm on the bike, I don't have to take calls. It's a win-win-win-win-win.
Wow.
Yeah, because I can't.
Have people
respond
actually
fast
yelled at
enough.
you, ha ha, bike cop?
No, but like I've had like coworkers will make fun of me. I'm like, you guys are the losers. Like, you guys are the losers. Though it's really funny. Like, sometimes I'll like do traffic stops on the bike, and the way you do that is you can only do it in slow speed areas. Obviously, if it's faster than 25, I ain't catching them.
You're not doing it.
I mean, on that e-bike, I can get going like 30 or 40 miles an hour.
That'd be terrifying, though.
Terrifying. If you get that thing at 40, you have like this really crazy death wobble.
Oh, the death
where
wobble.
You're like, like if you turn, you're dead. Like, you just know you're dead.
Yeah.
You just know this is the end. So yeah, you can only get it 40 down a hill, but yeah, no. So like, you'll stop a car, like you pull up next to their window and you knock on. You're like, hey, pull over there in a second, and you just hope they stop. Because if they don't, you're like, well, I guess I'll radio ahead for someone in a car to catch them.
Not finishing this chase.
Yeah. Most people pull over, and it is smart, by the way. I'm not saying you should outrun bike cops, because at that point that I'm up at their window, I already know the vehicle. I've now looked at the driver, and so I can now probably figure out who they are really easily, and I've run their plate.
Exactly.
So I will find you, and if you run away from me, then you're going to get arrested. So I will find you later. I will go back to the station, ride my bike back to the station, get in a car, and go to your house and arrest you. That's what'll happen. But anyhow, you remember me? Yeah, I'm not wearing a bike helmet now. I've got a car. Yeah, funny, huh? Anyhow,
I would love just your revenge statement. Like, hey, remember me? The guy behind you on a bike? Look at me now.
I did have a car once. I tried to stop, and it wasn't their fault. They didn't know I was trying to stop them because I'm on a bike. But like, I saw like a traffic violation, and then I was like trying to catch up to them. But then they happened to get a green light where they normally get a red light, and I was like, normally that's where I catch up to them. And I was just pedaling so hard to try to catch it. They just were pulling away from me. I was going like 25, 30 on the bike trying to catch up. I'm like, okay. And then even on the e-bike, like, you still get out of breath because you're still pedaling hard.
Oh, yeah.
It just helps you get a lot faster. But I was like, all right, I lost that one. So then I turned around and went back. And then I love it. You get up to the window after you tell someone to pull over.
And you're like breathing heavily.
I'm Officer So-and-so. I stopped you today for this. And they're like, what? And I'm like, give me a second. Like, I can't read. Now, that can be corrected with physical exercise. But when my physical exercise is riding my bike at work, that's all I've got. So it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyhow, that's
all part of the help.
Do you have anything else we want to go over? We've been over an hour now.
We're over an hour?
We're over an hour.
Holy smokes.
So we'll go ahead and...
do we want to call it, or we want to do the next thing?
Well, I think we just saved that one for when we don't have enough stuff time.
All right, great.
I don't have that many on there.
Fantastic.
This actually took a lot of time.
I know.
Oh, we have to finish it, though. We have one more subsection.
We have to finish it?
Yeah, we have to finish it. It says the last one is engages in other conduct that is inconsistent with the intended use and purpose of the transit facility, transit station, or transit vehicle. And, so you have to do that, and you also have to refuse to obey the lawful commands of an agent of the transit authority or a peace officer to cease such conduct.
I have no idea. That's a catch-all, isn't it?
Yep, that's exactly why they threw it in there. It's like, if you're doing something I don't think you should be doing at a transit station,
And somebody's telling you to stop,
and you don't stop, you're under arrest.
Great.
That's the end of it.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Well,
Oh, another one, ferry boats. That's another one we didn't think about. That.
Oh.
But
the ferry boats.
Anyhow, so that's what I got for you guys.
That was great.
What did you final things?
What did you learn today, Farmer Cop?
I learned about the massive manure farm that you got manure from.
It's
a great deal, though.
Still there.
Still there. I'm
they
sure
might
it
be
is.
Overflowing at this point.
Probably are. They're like the EPA is onto us. We need to get rid of this.
For sure. Oh man.
Maybe the EPA won't investigate it because they drive over there and the smells too. They're like, all right, we can't.
Yeah, it's actually a natural defense.
It's a natural.
Everything seems in.
They should contract with the military. The military could use some of that stuff.
Stink warfare.
The Geneva Convention's like, no, we can't.
Instead of dropping troops, we just drop 15 metric tons of manure. That'll shape everybody up. Stop fighting now.
Oh gosh! Oh, it's so sticky and gross. Oh gosh! Oh my goodness! That would fix them up real quick.
Oh yeah.
What is it, guys? That was a good. And then we had a lot. That was good. Yeah, I figured this would start happening.
A bit longer.
So every time, just so you guys know, in the background before we start, we got like a list that we're trying to make what we should talk about.
We have not yet made it through.
We have not yet made it through the list, and we're looking at. We're like, oh gosh, is that enough stuff? You're like, are we gonna run out of stuff? But no, we just get talking, and that's great. Hope you guys are enjoying it, and it's somewhat entertaining. Or if it's not, then it's not. You know, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You can watch something else. But anyhow, I think that's everything. Any last words?
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you guys enjoyed this, well, it's the podcast. So make sure you like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do.
All the things. Tell us if you want to hear us talk about something else?
Yep. If you hate what we're talking about, if you do not want to hear about massive slurry pits and transit stations, make sure you let us know.
I'm gonna try and work in a poop joke for every episode.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Just in spite of that person, whoever you are.
If you make that comment, someone's gonna make that comment to try to encourage that behavior.
No.
Oh gosh. Well, yeah, guys, thank you guys for coming and watching. If you guys enjoyed it, please follow and like and all that good stuff. But we'll see you guys on the next one next week.
Bye bye.